Hi everyone. Thank you for watching this video. So today's video is on how to set up Microsoft Forms. And the reason why I made this video was that I had a lot of colleagues who wanted to know how do we use forms and set up forms so that we can use this to assess students in class. I find this is a powerful tool. Why? Because for once, from my years of teaching experience in various institutions, I found that this tool is incredible. Number one is that in the traditional classroom setup, what lecturers like myself would do is that we hand out pieces of worksheets, and then we ask the student to complete these worksheets, and then we go through the worksheets in class. And as a lecturer, it's very difficult to tell if the students even know what they're doing. And worse still, we have no idea how many students actually attempt the worksheets. Now, Microsoft Forms overcome all of these problems. Why? Because one is that Microsoft Forms allow people like myself, lecturers, to set up quizzes, right? And then to be able to test the students, right, with these quizzes. And students can attempt the quizzes on their devices, can be on mobile phone, can be on iPad, on any device, can be a tablet or PC. And upon completing the quiz, the students' results will be immediately updated onto the Microsoft Forms, and Microsoft Forms will be able to capture all this statistics on the results of the quizzes. Well, it's an incredible tool, and I find it quite useful, and though it's not widely adopted. So here we go. All right. So let me just show you how to set this up. Okay. So first, you need to come to this website, right? Let me just adjust my camera a bit. Right. First, you need to come to this website, which is office.com. Right. For some strange reason, Forms is interestingly only available unless you have a corporate account. I'm not sure about individual account, but you can check that with Microsoft. But if you have a corporate account, right, log into office.com. And then once you come to the screen, click on the Forms button. Now, however, if you can't find this screen, what you can do is that you can click on this box here. You see that? Click on that. And then you just tap on the Forms icon. Right, here it is. Point at that. Okay, so once you tap on that, then that will load the screen. Right, another window will open up. Right, still loading. Okay, of course I have been using this for quite a while, and you can see that I have quite a number of quizzes. Okay, so to start, what you do is that don't select new forms, select new quiz. Right, I've done many, so you should have a very you should have no quizzes set up yet, I suppose. I mean, if you are doing this for the first time. Right, so I'm gonna just delete this because this was created for experiment purpose. Alright, so let's start. So tap on this button that says new quiz. Okay, then you come to this screen. Right, a few things you need to do. Okay, now there is this questions and responses. Now the questions tab is for you to set up the questions. The responses will only appear if you have students attempting the quizzes. Then you find that there will be response counts. Now we also have this button that says preview. So like for instance, after you have set up the quiz, you want to know what it looks like. You can tap on the preview button. Later I'll demonstrate how it looks like. There is also a theme button. The theme button is just to change the background, change a bit of the colors. It's quite redundant in my opinion. Right, there are not many themes still available anyway. Okay, there's the share button, which is very important because once you set up the quiz, you need to share with the students or your attendees. Click on the share button. Alright, so let's go. Okay, the title. For me, I like to enter a title that I can easily identify. You all know that I teach the ACCA, so usually what I'll do is that I'll enter ACCA. Say for instance, I'm teaching the subject of paper F8, and then this is supposed to be a tutorial. Okay, say for instance this is tutorial 1. Right, so this is just a matter of personal preference. You can name your quiz in any way you like, but this is how I would like to do my naming. of the quiz. Now, it will be most helpful if you even include the intake. Now, for those of you who are teaching, then you should include the intake date, like for example March 2018 or something like that. So later on, when you want to know like whether this quiz is meant for certain intake or not, it's easier to find. As you can see from from the earlier screen, I have too many quizzes. I actually, in a way, sometimes lose track of the quizzes that I've set up. Okay. Next, description, up to you to enter. You can enter description like all questions to be answered. Right. Okay, so it's just to tell the students that what they should do, right? And then okay, the next add question. Now there are quite a few options you can choose. You can choose an option for date, rating, text. Oh, sorry about it. Where did it come from? Oh, that came from there. Okay, sorry about it. Okay, that came from the surface down. Right. So anyway. Yeah. So let's come to the to this again. Right. You can use the text option. The text option is quite interesting. You can explore that. Let's start with choice. So the quiz that I'm going to set up today is a series of MCQs, or what we refer to as multiple choice questions. Click. Okay, good, wonderful. Here you have, you can see that it says question 1. Now there are a number of buttons here. There is the button here, which is actually like 2 boxes, seems like 2 boxes. Basically, these 2 boxes allows you to duplicate the question. Of course, this is a blank question, so you can't duplicate. There's nothing to duplicate anyway. There is also a bin here. The bin is to delete the question that you have set up. These 2 arrow buttons is to change the priority of the question, so you can change the order of the questions if you want. Okay, the options, which the student or the or the candidate will get to see. Right, you can add multiple options. You can allocate marks. So in this case, this is blank at this time. You can allow the question to have multiple answers, and you can elect to allow this to be an option or compulsory question. Of course, not right now. This is like you see, it was unchecked just now. So if you want this to be a compulsory question, you can just check this so it becomes required. Okay, so that's for you to experiment. Yeah. Right, so I'm going to just have a question like a sample question. Right, so this, you have different questions. So mine is on the topic of audit. So I'm going to have a question like, for instance, what is the meaning of NRV? Okay. Right. So it's just a question to let you see what it looks like for you when you set up. Okay. So NRV. Okay, what's NRV? NRV is net realizable value. Okay. Now once you're done, you can use the shortcut. You can press Enter key. Right. Watch. Right. You can just tap on the Enter key and you go to the next option. Okay. So my option 2, I'll just put a silly answer. It says cost, and then add option. You can just click the add option button here. So the add option button allows you to create new options. Now if you find that you do not need that many options, you can click on the delete button. Sorry. Okay. So let's click on the delete button here. Okay. Alright, so NRV, and then let's say option 3, I can have none of the above, like this. Right, so what is NRV? So now there are these 3 buttons that I can click. Now clicking on the tick button means that would be the correct answer. That means later on, when you distribute this to the students, when they happen to have checked the first option, that would become the right answer. The student get a mark for it. Okay, yes, a mark for it. So you need to allocate 1 mark here. You can change it to 2 or 3. That's up to you. That's depending on what you intend to do with this quiz. Okay. Now, if you happen to want to have multiple option possible if you want to have multiple options, just check on the multiple option button. So this will allow you to check, you see, 2 possible answers. So what that means is that the student need to check, in order to get a mark from this question, the student need to check these 2 options. So then the student will get a mark. However, if the student manages to check the first one but not the last one, the student will get no marks. Right? You can play with that. Okay, of course, now my intention is that there will only be one right answer. Okay. Okay. And I'm going to uncheck this button, so students can only choose one answer but not choose 2 or 3 answers. Okay, I'm going to add another question. Right, and I'll do so by adding the and pressing the add question button. That will be another choice, multiple choice. So this question will be true or false. Does an audit provide absolute assurance? Now, and of course, when you have question like does something, Forms is smart enough to detect that your question will require a yes or no answer. Right? You can check at all, so then that will automatically populate your answers. Alright, good. So here we are. Alright, so now we have 2 questions set up. Okay, and we are ready to do a preview. Click on and you can see that there is only 2 marks possible in this quiz because there are only 2 questions. Right, and you can see here, question 1 has 1 mark. Question 2 has 1 mark as well. Oh yes, I need to check here the correct answer for question 2, so that the student after attempting will get a mark if he or she got it right. So the correct answer is that an audit does not give an absolute assurance. So let me just check this. No, it does not. Okay, very good. Okay, there you have a very simple quiz. Right. So let's do a preview just to make sure that the quiz will look as intended on the student's device. So you click on the preview button here. Okay, now the Forms is quite Microsoft Forms is quite helpful because it allows you to see how the quiz will look like on computer format, on desktop. And if you click on this button, the mobile button, this will show you how the quiz will look like on a mobile phone, right? Now it literally look like this on a mobile phone. So now I'm going to just test my quiz just to make sure that the quiz works. Right, so tab. Right, what is NRV, net realizable value? Does an audit provide absolute assurance? So of course I know that the answer is no. Okay, so I'm going to test and see if the quiz works. Now I'm going to click submit. Okay, good. So it's submitted. So I scored, you see here, 2 out of 2. So and the marking is live. And you know what? Once the student has done the submission, this will also be reflected in the. Do you see this? The response count. There is 1 response. So that means if you have a class of 20 and all 20 attempted the quiz, you expect something like maybe 20 responses. Okay, now I'm on the on this tab, the response tab. You can see this. So now I had only attempted 1 time. So you can see that there's only 1 response. Average score is 2. And you can see that the right answer 1. And that was myself just now. I demonstrated how the quiz will look like and I submitted the answer. 2. Does the audit provide absolute assurance? So I click no. You see this? So the statistic is very useful, especially when you are, when you need to go through maybe a quiz of 5 questions and you want to, share with students some of the things you want them to learn. Then this is very helpful, right? And it's even more helpful if you have 10 questions. You know why? Because in 10 questions, you might find that a few questions tend to have a lot of problems. So you can then allocate more time to cover those few questions that have more students getting the wrong answer. Right. Therefore, you are able to, as a lecturer, I mean, those of you who are teaching, so then you can focus on those questions that tend to have a lot of problems, and therefore save time on those questions that obviously are too easy, and where most students got the answer right. So this is a incredibly useful tool, and if you are like teaching the ACCA like paper F1 to 3, then this is the tool to use, right? Right. Sorry. Yeah. So that's so I hope that that's useful. And now the important thing next is that you need to share. Yeah. If you don't share this, then all your work will go to waste. Okay. Let me just show you how to share. Click on the share button. Now watch the button here. It says only people in my organization can respond. Now you do not want only people in my organization can respond. Change that to anyone with link can respond. Now why I suggest that, because apparently forms can be limited to only people from your organization. So that means only people from your organization can respond, right? Or people with the same email address from your domain, right? Could be like, for example, let's say myself, from the institution where I teach. So only people within my institution where I teach at can respond. If I checked, only people in my organization can respond. So you don't want that, because there's a high chance that you find that some students will say that, oh, I can't access because it requires password, I can't remember my password, let's change it to anyone with the link can respond. Okay, so there you have it. Okay, then you have you can generate a QR code, right? And then you can download that and then paste that into whatever document that you want, and you can, during the class, you can get the students to scan the QR code and they will be able to log in and try the question, right? So that's very useful. Now, however, I came across some students who tend to tell me that, oh, the QR code doesn't work, that sort of stuff. So what you can do is that you can copy the link, and I highly suggest that if you happen to have to want to use this in class, you should shorten the URL. So that means you copy this link, which is very long. Go to this thing called the goo.gl. So basically, this is a URL shortener. I insert the link into the box here. Right. So what I did was that I entered the link which I copied, and I would then shorten the URL. So you can see that, you see, the URL is now much shorter. So it's easier for you to copy the link and share with the students, right? So if they fail to use the QR code, then they can fall back on the short URL. Yeah, and you won't have problems sharing this because it's really short. I mean, how can you miss entering such a short URL? All right. Okay, so that's this. Of course, you can see that I have many other shortened URLs. Okay, good. So I come to the end of my presentation. So this is to show how you can produce a very simple quiz using Microsoft Forms. Of course, the other alternative tool that I shared with some of my colleagues was the Google Forms, which is also incredible. Right, it gives you real-time statistics. Right, you can try to use that, and I think there are some other tools available online. Okay, so once again, thank you for watching, and I'm Will Dicha. You have been watching this on my YouTube channel. Appreciate deeply for your generous support and patience in watching this. Thank you.